Okay, so the simplest way of making a basic drink bottle is probably by sketching a circle and doing what's called extruding. So this is my workspace. If I click on this show data panel here, I get a tab on the side which shows me all the work that I've got stored. So when I create the new one now, it'll be saved in here as well. But I'm going to close that for the time being to give myself more working area. So I'm going to come up to the sketch mode, and I'm going to basically say I'm going to create a sketch, and this now offers me three faces. So I don't want it on the bottom, the right or the left. Well, I'm going to go for the bottom plane, so I'm going to click that, and it's basically saying what kind of sketch do you want. So I'm going to sketch a circle, and I'm going to do it with a center diameter. So I'm going to click this one. That's the very center, so I'm going to start from there, click once and pull out. Now you can see I can either use my mouse or I can type the number in. So I'm going to type in 75 millimeters. So my diameter is going to be 75 mil, and I'm going to press enter on my keyboard a couple of times. And that's all I need to do with my sketch. So now I can click up here and say stop sketch. So I'm back into my modeling plane here, and this is the sketch I drew, and I'm in an isometric view now. So I've got what's called a view cube here, so I can change the angles of what I look at by doing this, or I can grab the cube and drag it with my mouse, or I can hold down my mouse button, and if I hold shift at the same time, I can manipulate my shapes that way. So the easiest thing to remember is if you ever want to go back, you just click the house picture and it returns you to the view that you want, and if you use the roll mouse button, you've got zoom. So there's my circle I've drawn. I'm going to now modify that by doing, I'm not going to modify, I'm going to create an extrusion. Okay, click extrude, click the shape, and you get a little arrow pointing upwards. Now if I drag it upwards, you can see what it's doing. It's making a kind of solid shape. So I can either pull it all the way up, or I can type the number in. So I'm going to type in the number. This time I'm going to go for 180. So I'm going to make this 180 millimeters tall. Now you can see that there's a box here with other information on, so there's things I can change. I'm not going to do any of that at the moment. I'm just going to say OK, and I'm going to finish that shape. So there's my sort of bottle shape started with. Next thing I want to do is I want to make a neck on my bottle, so I'm going to put another drawing on top of this plane. So I'm going to do another sketch. I'm going to create a sketch. It's going to say where. This time, instead of choosing one of the planes, I'm going to choose the top here. So I'm going to click on the top. It's going to ask me where do I want to do it and what kind of sketch. So I'm going to do a circle again with a center diameter. I'm going to start in that middle position again, pull out. This time I'm going to choose 50 mil, so it's a smaller one. And exactly the same thing, press enter a few times, stop my sketch, and I'm going to now extrude this one up. So I'm going to make the kind of neck of the drink bottle a little bit. So I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to create an extrusion again, and I'm going to pull up, and this time I'm going to go to 30 mil, and I'm going to say OK. So that's my basic bottle shape. Now I'm going to use a few tools to actually shape it and do things with it.